Welcome to the Connect Secure Administration and Maintenance e-learning video. In this session, we will review how to customize your end-user experience. You define the UI options as part of a role. The default sign-in page displays the Pulse Secure logo and a welcome message referencing Pulse Connect Secure. You can customize every element of this page, including prompts, buttons, colors, logos, and error messages. Newer mobile devices, such as tablets and smartphones, have smaller screens. Traditional web pages are not optimized for viewing on these smaller devices. Pulse Connect Secure provides sign-in pages that are properly formatted for smaller devices. When modifying the sign-in page, you can create a custom look and feel to your sign-in page. You can either modify the default sign-in page, or you can create a custom page. There are a couple steps to follow. To begin, go to Authentication, Signing In, Sign In Pages. From there, you will see options to use the available default pages or create custom pages. If creating a new page, you can change all the text that appears on the sign-in page. You can also alter the logo and color scheme and change error messages for certificates. You can also change what messages are sent to the user before and after they sign in. You can choose whether to show the help page. Once you have made your modifications, make sure you save your changes. Next, you can define your session options as part of a role. There are a few options to choose from. Under Session Lifetime, you can update Idle Timeout. These are the number of minutes a session can remain idle before being disconnected. The default is 10 minutes. You can also update Maximum Session Length. These are the number of minutes a session can remain open before being disconnected. The default is 60 minutes. You can also update Reminder Time. These are the number of minutes before a session timeout that users should be warned that they will be disconnected. The default is 5 minutes. Another session option is Enable Session Timeout Warning. This relates to the reminder time. If enabled, users receive a warning of the specific number of minutes prior to being disconnected. If disabled, users receive no warning. Another session option is Roaming Session. A roaming session works across source IP addresses, which allow mobile users with dynamic IP addresses to sign in at one location, then continue their session from another location. Options include enabling this feature, restricting it to a certain subnet, and disabling it altogether. The default for this option is Disabled. Another session option is Persistent Session. If this session is enabled, the session cookie is written to the client hard disk. By default, this setting is disabled. Note that a user session does not end when a user closes the browser window. It ends when a user signs out of Pulse Connect Secure or when the session times out. If the cookie is persistent, another user could reconnect to an existing Pulse Connect Secure session, a potential security problem. We recommend that you enable this feature only for roles whose members need access to applications that require Pulse Connect Secure credentials, and that you ensure that these users understand the importance of signing out of a Pulse Connect Secure session when they are finished. Another session option is Remove Browser Session Cookie. If this option is enabled, the session cookie is removed from the browser after the client is launched. Enabling this option makes compromising this cookie and hijacking the client session impossible. Another session option is Persistent Password Caching. If this option is enabled, passwords are cached on the local hard disk from session to session. By default, this setting is disabled. Another session option is Browser Request Follow-Through. If this option is enabled, when a user attempts to access a resource from a timed-out session, the request is completed after the user re-authenticates. By default, this setting is disabled. In other words, the user must reissue the request after authenticating. Another session option is Idle Timeout Application Activity. If this option is enabled, Pulse Connect Secure ignores any web application-initiated activity, such as polling for emails, when determining whether a session is active. By default, this setting is disabled. Another session option is Upload Logs. If this option is enabled, users can upload client-side logs to the Pulse Connect Secure for troubleshooting purposes. Next, you will set the default UI. After a user authenticates to Pulse Connect Secure, a default web page is displayed that lists all available bookmarks as determined by the assigned roles. By default, this page includes the Pulse Secure logo and a tagline system information, a toolbar, and bookmarks. You can modify all these elements. Pulse Connect Secure also provides start pages for mobile devices. There are a few options for the UI that allows you to create a custom look and feel for the user. The UI options are the following. For the header, this option specifies the graphic and color in RGB hex format for the header of all Pulse Connect Secure navigation pages. You can also click the color wheel to display a menu of colors to select. For subheaders, the option specifies the colors for the background and the text of page subheaders. For the start page, this option allows you to have the user start on any web page rather than navigate to Pulse Connect Secure page. By selecting Also Allow Access to the directories below the URL checkbox, this will ensure that access to specified web pages is allowed. Another UI option is under the Bookmarks panel arrangement. This option specifies how bookmarks are displayed on the screen by group. You can split the screen into two columns and move each group up or down on the screen. For the Help page, the default is the built-in help from Pulse Connect Secure. You can point users to a different help page, or you can disable help altogether. For the user toolbar, this option allows you to select buttons for inclusion in the toolbar that appears at the top of each secured page. Another UI option is the browsing toolbar. When the user is browsing the web through Pulse Connect Secure, a toolbar can be displayed that allows users to return to their Pulse Connect Secure page. There are two display options that will allow you to show one of the following toolbars. The first option is Standard. This small 3-button toolbar allows users to move the toolbar to different locations on the page, to return to the Secure Gateway homepage, and to close the current session. The second option is through Framed. The Framed toolbar consists of a framed header section at the top of the page containing links to sign out of the current secure session, to return to the Secure Gateway homepage, and to go to the End User Help file. Please note that you can change the icon that is displayed on the toolbar. You can also change what the icon links and whether to include additional buttons in the toolbar. Another UI option that you can enable is Personalized Greeting. If this option is enabled, the user's name or username, if full name is not configured, and an optional configured message are displayed on the user's Pulse Connect Secure homepage. Another option is under Other. This option allows you to remove the copyright notice from pages generated by Pulse Connect Secure. If you configure session or UI options, ensure that the associated checkboxes on the Roles, and then Overview page are checked. Otherwise, Pulse Connect Secure ignores the role-based options and uses the system defaults. This concludes this Connect Secure Administration and Maintenance e-learning video. Please go to the next video in this series.